When starting with OKRs, you need to focus heavily on communication. If people aren't moving towards their goals or are struggling, the system tends to fall apart and leaves everyone unmotivated. If communication fails, then employees tend to abandon their OKRs completely. The OKR Check-in ensures that everyone can see how their work connects to objectives. It also helps everyone reflect on their goals as a team. The OKR Weekly Check-in is a quick 15 to 20 minute meeting where teams reflect on the progress of their OKRs. Likewise, the check-in helps decide what priorities are coming in the following week. We'll go over what an OKR check-in is, how to prepare for one, what the framework for an OKR check-in looks like, and answer some questions and concerns. So first, why should you run a weekly check-in? Weekly check-ins make sure that your OKRs are actually progressing. The idea is to look at what you and your team are working on a weekly basis to drive your OKRs forward. OKR check-ins are more down-to-earth and focus on the actions taken to accomplish OKRs. By focusing on the week instead of the quarter or year, you can make sure that actionable steps actually apply to the larger company goals. By having a short meeting to get everyone on track, review the week's projects, and decide on the next course of action, you can save time and avoid confusion. Next, we'll cover how you should prepare for the weekly check-in. Preparation is key. It ensures that you don't waste time getting off track during the meeting, and that all major points are addressed. Here's a checklist for you to go through. First, look at your team objectives. See what progress has been made towards them and where they currently stand. Second, evaluate whether you're satisfied with the results. Are you on track to meet your goals? Are there any key results that are suffering? What actionable items and projects are driving goals forward? From there, you should take a look at the problems you wish to address. Do you have lower personal level problems, such as poorly implemented projects or plans that aren't helping team goals? Or do you have larger problems, like poorly set key results that don't reflect your actual progress? The fourth step is key. Make sure to take physical notes of your thoughts and put them in a list of talking points. The more organized your checklist is, the smoother the meeting will go. Next, we'll cover the framework of your meeting. Keep in mind that you can personalize the framework to suit your team's needs, but there are some general points you should cover in any weekly OKR check-in. First, evaluate the current status of your OKRs. Determine whether your goals are on track or off track, and what progress has been made towards them. If no progress has been made, try to find out what stalled those goals. The second point is to see what you learned from the previous week. You should first address what was successful, and then look at what could be done differently in the future. This is all part of the learning process. Talk about what your team learned from both the successes and the failures of the previous week. The last thing to do is to plan for the next week. What can you do next week to help drive your OKRs forward? Also, who should be doing what? Are there individual tasks to be addressed? And what are some updates and plans that already exist? Now, let's look at some common mistakes and see what you should and shouldn't do during a check-in. As for things you should do, first, follow the framework you established and keep track of time. Try to keep things focused and driven. Remember, it's a discussion as well, not a speech, so be sure to ask for others' opinions. And most importantly, be sure to take notes. As for things you shouldn't do, try not to dominate the meeting. Don't harshly judge anyone's creativity or suggestions. Remember, you should try and be as supportive as possible. Also, try not to go over 15 to 20 minutes and stay on point. Try not to derail too much. If smaller groups need to go into more detail later, have a separate meeting to discuss those points separately. Now, what should you do when the meeting ends? Remember, you should always have an outcome or a goal to every meeting you have. These check-ins are no different. Make sure you have a way to share your notes with others. By using Weekdone, for example, you can make comments on OKRs, assign tasks to others, and give updates to the whole company via the newsfeed. When you first start having OKR check-ins, it can be a little tricky to figure out what you need to do. But by following the steps in this video, you should be on the right path to measuring and achieving your objectives through weekly check-ins.